Here it is, the DDJ-800 from Pioneer, and this thing is a much needed upgrade over the FLX-6, and I'll go over some of those differences here in a bit. But been looking for a new board, I didn't want to spend too much, and this one just checked all the boxes for me. You got adjustable jog wheels, you have the quantize button at the top, you have the knobs to control beat effects. I love these pads. So much better than the FLX-6, and the biggest one for me was the full-size tempo slide. I have the 800 here, the FLX-6 here. I'm going to do a little side-by-side as to why personally I upgraded to the 800 from the FLX-6, even though this is an older board. It's almost 6 years old now. I think it might be over 6, and why FLX-6 is getting sold. First big one is the build quality. This board, the old DDJs before they went to the FLX series, are just built so much better. The knobs, so much more tactile. The sliders for the fader and everything, just so much better. Super nice sliding action on the tempo slider. And the biggest one for me was the pads. Performance pads on these are non-moving versus moving ones on the FLX-6. So these ones actually give you tactile feedback with a little click when you press them. These ones, you simply just tap them and they light up. And they're way easier to press, way easier to hit, so you don't have to worry about missing them. Another reason I upgraded was the beat effects. So if you take a look here, see the beat effects on the FLX-6. If you want to select your effect, you have to press this button and cycle through. And if you want to select your channel, you have to press that button and cycle through the channels. And it just drove me insane. It was annoying. And the reason why I like the DDJ-800 better is because you have a knob here where you can select your channel of the effects you want to apply to, and you have a knob to select which effect. So much better. It tells you exactly what you're doing right here at the top on that little display, so you can see exactly what you're doing. It tells you your channel as well. So way more intuitive design, and I'm disappointed as to why the FLX-6 didn't have it. Obviously, the DDJ-800 has these little built-in screens, which are pretty neat. They display a lot of information. It's BPM, the key, they have a little waveform of the song. They'll tell you what mode the jog wheel is on, if you're on the master, tempo too as well. They're really nice, and they are adjustable, so you can control the weight of them and how resistive they are to movements. The FLX-6 had these merge effects built into it, which honestly weren't that useful, and they're gimmicky, they didn't work too well, and it really was a big flop on Pioneer's end. Additionally, there was this feature here called Jog Cutter that was debuted on this FLX-6, and it hasn't been seen on any other board from Pioneer for good reason, because it just didn't work. It didn't sound like a real scratch. Another big reason I upgraded to the DDJ-800 was because of this thing's versatility. Let me tell you, it is very versatile. First of all, you have phone line inputs, and you can actually do a 4-deck mode on this board. You have full mic inputs and mic EQ, sound color effects, which this board has technically, but you have to change them in Rekordbox on the actual computer. You can't change them on the fly like you can on the 800. The DDJ-800 was clearly made for more gigs and more versatility than the FLX-6. It's evident on the back with all these ports. On the bottom here I have the 800, top is the FLX-6. And you can just tell that this 800 was made for business. You have XLR out with balanced, you also have balanced RCA out, you have balanced booth, you have inputs for line or phono. If you want to do a turntable, you can do mic input here, mic input here. That's 2 mic inputs and an aux input. So you can play all your sources on this board as if you were at a club. Versus the FLX-6, all you have for inputs is a mic. And all you have to control the mic is this little knob here. And your outputs are unbalanced RCA, which is very easy to tell on this board. There's tons of noise, and I'm glad to see a proper output on the 800. It's incredibly interesting to note that the FLX-6 is a bigger and newer board, yet is a clear downgrade from the 800. It is probably an inch longer, probably an inch deeper, and all you have for master out is unbalanced RCA. I don't understand. Me personally, the 800 just made so much more sense for me, and that's why this boy is being sold today. A lot of people might be asking, well, now you don't have 4 channels that you can individually control. If I'm being honest, these 4 channels are super hard to use It's annoying because you have to go up here and press this button to change it to deck 3 and up here to change to deck 4. You can't tell what's playing on those decks unless you are on those decks. You can't control them unless you're on that deck. It's not really intuitive. And your best bet for getting 4 decks is just to get a pair of CDJs or XDJ-1000s. Very rarely did I find myself using 4 decks on this board. In fact, I only did it just to try and have fun. And if I'm being honest, I always made mistakes, and it just isn't the best implementation. And I understand that there's only 2 jog wheels, so that's all they can do. But if you really want a 4 deck setup or a 3 deck setup, it's best to just build one yourself instead of buying one that tries to throw them together when it really isn't going to teach you that much about mixing on more than 2 decks. The big sell point for the FLX-6 was the full-size jog wheels from the CDJs, but they aren't CDJ jog wheels, they're just big jog wheels. It is fun, it is nice to have big jog wheels. These are probably 75% of the size of these, and if I'm being honest, you're not going to notice much unless you're a dedicated CDJ player and need something with full-size jog wheels at home to practice on. Well, there you have it. Here's my comparison of these 2 boards and why I upgraded to the 800 from the FLX-6. If you enjoyed this, please let me know, and if there's anything I missed, make sure to let me know in the comments. See you guys soon.